without that.
Dominic Batty doesn't like being dependent on his wife for everything. He suffers from Alzheimer's, which has left him virtually incapacitated.
There's part of me accepted it, yes, I'm going dotty and all the rest of it, but all the people around me are just having to cope with it because it's this great problem for them. And that bothers me.
The first sign of Alzheimer's disease is a failing memory. Eventually, sufferers no longer remember loved ones, cannot talk, walk, or even smile. And the best medications available today attack only the symptoms. Experts say early diagnosis can make controlling symptoms easier and cut down on caregiving efforts. They also suggest that early diagnosis of Alzheimer's is important for procedures and treatments to be effective. Simple brain scans and blood tests can be useful in detecting Alzheimer's long before physical symptoms start. Those form the key component of new guidelines issued in the medical journal Lancet this week. Dr. Ted Rothstein, a neurologist at George Washington Medical Center, says blood tests can reveal the accumulation of abnormal proteins forming plaque in the brain.
They form a kind of tangle in the brain which interferes with normal protein function in the brain. And you can measure tau levels both in the blood and spinal fluid, which tend to be elevated in Alzheimer patients compared to normal patients.
There is no cure for this growing epidemic with soaring costs. Alzheimer's Disease International, in its latest report, shows the cost of caring for Alzheimer's patients is set to reach $604 billion this year. Those costs are expected to rise as the number of cases could triple by 2050. Dr. Rothstein.
As of today, we do not have any medication that prevents the disease from progressing, and the treatments that are available are mildly effective with regard to the symptoms, the memory loss or the other disturbances, but eventually these patients continue to progress, continue to lose their memory, their activities of daily living, they become increasingly dependent, and within 5 years, most of these patients wind up in nursing homes.
5% of Alzheimer's patients inherit this condition through a familial gene, but for the vast majority of others, age is a common factor. After the age of 65, the chances of developing the disease doubles every 5 years. At the age of 85, there is a 50% chance of developing Alzheimer's. Researchers urge countries to invest more in finding treatments for this disease. Otherwise, the cost of caring for Alzheimer's patients will reach crisis proportions. Vidushi Sinha, VOA News, Washington.